Hello, good evening everyone. So today we are going to start one question which is from ABC Costing. So today we are going to learn how to do comparison between the absorption costing and the ABC Costing. Okay, so for that there is a question. In this question you will find out T Limited produced two product S and product P. Okay, so the budget of the two product for the next year, estimated budget, it is production and sale, it is given to you, means this much they wants to produce for product S and this much for product P, and direct material per unit will be 1 and direct material for P is 2. Material price per kilo is $8 and here it is $8.5. Then direct labor per unit is 4 and direct labor hour per unit is 6. Okay, direct labor rate per hour is given to you, which is 15 and here it is 16. Okay, after that they gave information regarding the factory overhead. So factory overhead, which is 465,000, okay, they want you to apportion in direct labor hour on the basis of direct labor hour. Okay, and the markup for that is 50%, which is given to you. So 50% on cost. Okay, so in A part they want you to prepare a statement so that you can show the calculation for the product S and product P related to their selling price and their total cost. What is their selling price and what is their total cost for each product? They want you this information in a statement form. Okay, so what you have to do, look, for calculating the total cost, first you add all the total cost, all the cost which is in front of you. So what are the total cost? So here we are going to do for here we have to write detail. Okay, then we have two product. One product is product S, okay, and the another product is product the first product is S and the another product is P. Okay, so now first is your direct material. Okay, direct material, first you have to do direct material, write down your direct material, then your direct labor, okay, then your factory overhead. After that you came to know what is your total cost. When you find your total cost, then add markup, okay, and then you came to know your selling price. Okay, so in this question they want us total cost and selling price, right? In part A they said this thing, that prepare a statement to calculate the selling price per unit for S and P, and the statement you have to show what is the total cost for each product. So they want total cost as well as the selling price, these two things. So how are you going to solve that? First of all, direct material, okay, what you have to do, direct material, then direct labor, then factory overhead, then you will find out your total cost. When you will able to find out your total cost, on that you have to add markup. What is the markup given? Whatever the markup given to you in your question, you have to add it. Okay, and then you will find out your selling price. So it's very simple. Okay, so now start direct material. So direct material is 1 per unit and direct material for P is 2 unit. Okay, and material per kilo we having $8 and for product P we need $8.5. This is your information related to the direct material. Okay, so here what we have to do, we have to multiply 8 into 1, that is 8. Okay, and then 8.50 into 2, that is 17. Okay, so okay, I have to change the color of my pen and the thickness. Okay, so here we find 8 here and 17 here. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to find out your direct labor, and for the direct labor you having this information, direct labor per unit and direct labor rate per hour. So what you have to do, then multiply these two and these two. Okay, so 4 into 15, so you have to write 60 here. Okay, no need to write 4 into 15, it's just for your reference. Okay, then 6 into 18, 6 into 18, that will 108. Okay, now you have to find out your factory overhead. So for factory overhead, now you have to prepare working notes separately for that. How you going to prepare working note? Because here we are not able to put all information regarding that, because factory overhead we have to find it out, because they said this is a factory overhead for both product. Okay, this is annual factory overhead for S and for P. Okay, now you have to apportion factory overhead among the products in direct labor hour. So what you have to do, just find it out. Okay, I have to find some space. Okay, I can use this space. Okay, so for first of all we need to find out for product S. Okay, so product S, and here we are going to find out for product then another product name is P. Yeah, okay, so for product S, my budgeted production is 24 and 15,000. Okay, so production for this 24,000, and for product B it is 15,000. Okay, now what you have to find, you have to find out your direct labor hour. Now we are going to calculate direct labor hour. So 24,000 and times what we have to do, how many, means it is given in your question, that is 4 and 6. Okay, so 4 and here 6. Okay, so that you can find out your direct labor hour. Okay, so if we're going to multiply 24,000 into 4, we will find out the value 96,000, and here 9,000. Okay, now my factory overhead which is given to me for, which is on annual basis, that is 465,000. it is given to you, right? Exactly here 465,000. Okay, so 465,000 divided by the direct labor hour for product P is direct labor hour for product P. So 96,000 plus 9,000, so your overhead per labor hour is $2.5. so $2.5 per labor hour. Okay, so now overhead per labor hour. Okay, so how many labors we are having for product S? Labor per hour is 4 and labor for product P is 6. So 4 and 6 here, and we already find out that is 2.5 times 2.5. We already find it out now. So that will become 10 here and 15 over here. Okay, again I'm going to explain you. Please listen to me very carefully. Okay, so here first, for calculating total cost and selling price for both product, first of all you have to find out your direct material. In direct material you have to find out direct labor and then add your factory overhead, then you will find out your total cost. And when you add your markup in your total cost, then you able to find out your selling price. Okay, now this thing is clear, I guess. After that, what you have to find out, direct material. Direct material is already given to you, okay, which is 8 per kilo, and per unit we required 1. Okay, so 8 times 1 is 8, and here 8.50 into 2, 17. Again, direct labor information is also given to us per unit and per hour basis, that is 4 times $15, then 6 times $18. So we will calculate direct labor by this way. Okay, then factory overhead. Now this, for factory overhead they ask you to find divide the factory overhead between the product on the basis of direct labor hour. So for that you have to find out direct labor hour on the basis of factory overhead. Okay, so first of all we have to find out what for, like here for here for product S, direct labor hour 24,004, it means 96. Okay, and 15,000 into times 6, so 9,000. Okay, then factory overhead is 465,000. Then both direct labor hour we have to divide 465 by both direct labor hour, then we will find out this much labor hour cost. Okay, so 2.5 per labor hour. So labor hour is 4, labor hour for the another product is 6, so 4 into 2.5 and 6 into 2.5. Simple. Now what you have to do, you have to add your all cost. So what are your all cost? So okay, we are going to find it out. 8, then 60, then 10. Okay, so here we will find out my total cost, that is 78. And in the same way, 17, 108 and 15, my total cost is 140. Okay, now 50% is the markup on cost. So whatever cost you are having, just do a 50% of that. So 78 into 50% is 39. Okay, so 39, because markup is given to you in the question, in your question, that is 50% on cost. So my cost is 78,000 into 50%, then 140 into 50%, that is 70. Then you have to add so that you can find out your selling price. So your selling price is 78 plus 39, that will make 117. Then 140 plus 70, that will make your selling price 210. Okay, I think you able to understand this thing. Okay, I think everyone facing a problem related to the factory overhead. So basically don't panic, just do a thing. It is already given in the question that factory overhead is 465. This 465 is related to the T Limited, right? And T Limited produced 2 products, but they did not give us a separate factory overhead. If they gave, so we can put it over here, and then so it is not given, although it is in dollar, so we have to find it per unit basis. Okay, so what we have to do, because in the question it is directly given that the director used direct labor hour as the basis of appropriation factory overhead for dividing the factory, for appropriating the factory overhead. Okay, they want direct labor hour. So direct labor hour, we are having 24,000, we produce 24,000 Okay, and for producing 24,000, what is the direct labor hour per unit is 4. So 24,000 into 4, and we produce 15,000 unit, so 15,000 unit, and for this production how many direct labor hour per unit is needed? That is 6. So multiply by 6, you will get to know 9,000. So this is your direct labor hour. Okay, so 96 plus 9,000. Okay, so 465,000 divided by 96,000 plus 9,000. Then you will calculate this all, and then you will find out 2.5 per labor hour. This is your factory overhead per labor hour. Okay, so how many labor hour we need for production as 4. How many labor hour we need labor hour per unit for the production as? That is 6, and we the rate is 2.5 factory overhead, so we will find out 10 and 15 over here. Okay, when you add all your costs, then you find out your total cost, then add markup on the total cost, and you will able to find out your selling price. Okay, so first in part A they want us this statement, that is clear to you. Now in this question the thing is, in additional information you're having these things. Okay, number 1 box is for the cost. Okay, these are cost drivers. Okay, and if you want to find out cost driver rate, so how you going to find it out? Just the formula for cost driver rate is cost divided by cost driver. Okay, so cost is this much, cost driver is given to you but separately for S24, for P8. So if you're going to add 24 plus 8, so we can say cost driver for purchase order is 24 plus 8, that is 32. Okay, then 36,000 plus 18,000, my cost driver for machine hour, it is 54,000. 54,000. Okay, then number of setups 40 plus 8, 48. Then inspection hour 400 plus 100, 500. So now cost is in front of you, cost driver is in front of you. What you need to calculate? Cost drive rate. Okay, so how you going to calculate? 120,000 divided by 32. Okay, then you will find out 3750, and then 162,000 divided by 54,000, that is your 3. Okay, then 72,000 divided by this 48,000, it will become 1,500. Okay, and cost driver rate for inspection hour, inspection upon your driver, cost driver, that is 500. So 1,110,000 divided by 500, 222. Okay, so cost driver rate is in front of you. Now we have to do this B part later on. It's just a meaning. What is accounting? Activity based costing. You can search in Google also, or it is available in your books also. What is the meaning? You just because this is a 3 marks question, just write down the write down your definition and divide your definition in 3 parts, so that it will make easy, and you can go for this definition. Please refer the marking scheme for this paper. Okay, so I'm not going to waste my time in explaining the meaning for activity based costing. Okay, next we are going to move to the C part. Prepare a statement to calculate the selling price. Okay, as per unit for product of S and P by using activity based costing. Okay, the statement shows should also show separate the total cost and total cost per unit of each product. Okay, so they want you total cost and total cost per unit of each product. So what you have to do, you have to make a proper statement, and for that we need a space. Okay, so we can utilize this space. For that, just give me a second. Okay, so we are going to discuss the further point. Okay, so in this point, okay, so you have to prepare a statement using ABC. Now you have to use ABC. Okay, so for ABC everything is given to you, we already calculated everything. Okay, so we have to use that, that's it. So how we are going to use that? First of all, for product S, and here product P. Okay, now what you have to do first, that again we are going to use the same thing. Okay, whatever the direct first of all start with the direct material and then direct labor, and then use all these things. What you have in your cost driver, what you have? Purchase order. So you can write purchase material. Okay, then machine running, then machine setup, then inspection. Okay, then you will find out your total cost, and in total cost what you have to do, then if you need a per unit, yes, here we need a per unit, so we can do dividing by per unit later on, but first learn this thing. Direct material, direct labor, then whatever your factory overhead. Your factory overhead is, in this way they gave you a separate, like factory overhead 465, it is given above now. So here they gave us all detail of the factory overhead, like in factory overhead we spend on purchasing material, we spend on machinery running expenses, there are machinery setup expenses and inspection expenses also. Okay, and allocation also given to you, so directly we are going to find it out. Okay, so direct material in the above we already calculated, that is direct material is 8 and 17, right? And how much they produce? They produce 24,000 and 15,000. Okay, so what we are going to do, 24,000 into 8, and here 24,000 into 17, sorry, 15,000 into 17. Okay, so 192,000 here and 255,000 here. Okay, I hope you understand this thing. Again, so direct material you are already calculated, so what you have to do, just use that. Okay, how you going to use? It is given 24,000 you produce in for production S, and for product P you produce 15,000 unit, that is given to you, production and sale in the question itself. And we calculated direct material, that is 8 and 17. So for ABC we are going to multiply that, so that we came to know 192,000 and 255,000 for product P. Okay, Then same way we are going to do for direct labor. So what is my direct labor? Direct labor is 60 and direct labor for the another product is 108. And what is the direct labor? Means how much you produce. Again the same way you have to do 24,000 times 60, and here 15,000 times 108. This 108 and this 60, you know from where we take that value? From the this statement 60 and 108. Okay, so we have to multiply it and just write down the figure over here. Okay, that is my 40,000 and then 20,000. Okay, so after that machine running, so for machine running what you have to do, it is given here in the additional information related to your machine running. So for product S, so for product S, my machine running is, I have to change a color, wait a minute. Okay, so for product S, my machine R is 36,000, and for the product P, it is the machine running is for how many hours? For 18,000 hours. Okay, so what you going to do then? So use this information and your how you going to use it. So 36,000, okay, and here 18,000. Fine. Now cost driver rate is 3. So 36,000 into 3, 18,000 into 3. Okay, so I hope you understand this thing. Again I am going to show this thing. They need machine running for product S. For product S, machine runs for 36 hours. Okay, and what you have to do, just 36,000 times cost driver rate is 3, and here 18,000 times 3. Okay, again I'm going to tell you, here it is 36,000, here it is your 18,000. okay, so we have to do that. So machine running is okay, purchase material is left, we are going to solve it. Okay. So machine running is what? 36,000 times 3, then 18,000 times 3. So machine running is how much? If you're going to multiply this 108,000 and then 18,000 into 3 is 54,000. okay, for purchase material again we have to do the same. Purchase order total, then this multiply this, then 24 multiply 3750. okay, so we will get 90,000, and then 8 multiply by 3750, then we will get how much? 30,000. Fine. Okay, for machine setup 1500 is your cost driver rate. So again 40 into 1500, that is 60,000. okay, and then 8 into 1500, that is 12,000. okay, next for inspection hour total cost driver rate is 222, so 400 into 222, that will be like 888 and 00, and here 100 into 222, that will 222 00. Okay, then you have to find out your total cost, and 192, this and this means all cost you have to add. Then your total will like this: 1978 800, and here 1993200. Okay, after that you have, because they want you to find out number of units, in number of units na. So number of unit, how you going to calculate? Because in production, for production as they produce 24,000, and for production next product P, they produce 15,000. Okay, so if you're going to divide total cost by number of unit, then you will find out your cost per unit. Right? So what is your cost per unit? It is 82.45, and here it is 132.88. Look, in ABC we find we find exact value, so here it is exact value. Okay, accurate value, it helps us. Okay, so and markup is 50%, so markup 50%, so 82.45, 50% is 41.23. Okay, and 50% for the product P, cost is 132.88 into 50%, that is 66.44. Okay, then you came to know what is your selling price. So your selling price is 82.45 plus 41.23, that is 123.68. Okay, and the for another product, the selling price is 132 plus 66.44, that is 199.32. Okay, so this is the way how you're going to find out by using ABC. Okay, so what we learned in this part, how to find out the cost driver rate. Okay, so cost driver rate is cost divided by cost driver. Okay, I hope you understand. Thank you.